Speaking to Euronews, Ukraine's new justice minister discussed challenges aligning Kyiv's legal framework with that of the EU, but said no one in Ukraine was tired.
Protesters in Tel Aviv carry makeshift coffins to demand the Israeli government secure the release of the hostages still being held in Gaza.
In addition to being responsible for Ukraine's accession to the EU and NATO, Olha Stefanishina has become the country's justice minister. Speaking to Euronews, she explained how the roles combine in the pursuit of Ukraine's EU membership aspirations, saying the process is not only about communication with the EU, but largely a domestic reform-related process.
It, of course, will be expanded with the new huge challenge related to legal approximation and alignment of Ukrainian legal framework with the UN. And this is a work which will be massively coordinated by Ministry of Justice. Basically, accession process and bringing ourselves back to European family is about the values and the rule of law and the fundamental areas. And here, Ministry of Justice will be the major head of the oversight of all this reform agenda. Nobody is tired in Ukraine. We can adjust along the way. We will remain in every function we need to keep the country running, to make the country functional and operational. If it would require another reshuffle, it will be made.
Stefanishina is well known in Brussels as she has been a key negotiator in Ukraine's efforts to join the EU. She said in a speech to lawmakers before her appointment that hundreds and thousands of legal changes were needed for Ukraine to become a member of the European Union. Rome could soon launch a ticketing system to enter one of its most iconic sites, the Trevi Fountain. Authorities in the Italian capital say they want to start the scheme at the fountain as part of ongoing plans to both reduce crowds and promote sustainable tourism. Rome City Council say if enforced, it would act as a ticket reservation system, free for Romans and costing a symbolic €1 for tourists.
If you're gonna put a price on it, I think it's not what it's worth. No, I don't know. It's beautiful like this. All these people coming from all around the world, you're gonna put a price on it? I don't think it's a good idea.
You know, you shouldn't have to pay a tax to watch this. This is for everybody. And people that don't have euros shouldn't have to pay anything.
The city's authorities say the goal of the charge is not to raise money, but to lessen and control crowds.
Strada di Fontana di Trevi, sono 4 entrate, come fai a pagare? Ma ci deve essere... com'è? Come funzionerà? Ci daranno loro una spiegazione. Conviene per €1 d'entrata fare tutto questo casino? Non credo.
È un bene che abbiamo storico che va anche preservato e non è una piazza così grande, è una piazza anche abbastanza piccola, quindi bisognerebbe anche lì contingentarlo in modo da far pagare anche l'ingresso alla fontana anche per buttare la semplice moneta.
The plan is currently only an initial idea with nothing concrete decided yet.
Protesters have marched in Tel Aviv carrying coffins draped with the Israeli flag, symbolizing the hostages still being held by Hamas in Gaza. Around 70 Israelis are thought to be held captive following the Hamas incursion into Israel last October. Protesters are angry at Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu for not doing enough to secure their return. On Wednesday, Netanyahu said Israel must keep open-ended control of Gaza's border with Egypt, which protesters fear could derail ceasefire talks. There's been a proliferation of sinkholes in the southern Konya region known as the breadbasket of Turkey. They pose a threat to agricultural activities and are now getting closer to population areas. The latest count shows their number has now exceeded 2,600. Most happen as a result of drought and uncontrolled use of underground water. The director of the Sinkhole Application Research Centre said that the phenomenon will always exist, but human activities are causing their number to rise.